Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my Avengers spoiler review. Today I'm going to be discussing other things that I liked and enjoyed about this film and what I didn't really like. And if you haven't seen this film yet, you should not watch this video because I'm going to be discussing a lot of spoilers. So it's spoiler alert. And you also can watch my spoiler-free review if you haven't seen the film yet. And then once you're done and went to the movies, you come back over here and let's discuss and talk about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the film. All right, so let's get this rolling. Also, I think I'm getting a cold, so my energy is a little bit low. Hopefully, I'm taking a lot of vitamin C, so hopefully I won't be getting a cold, but I could feel it. But anyways, let's talk about the Avengers. This is a movie that everyone has been expecting for a very long time. I was expecting for a very long time. I was very hyped to go see it. Now I saw it I got to the theaters as soon as I could, and I wasn't disappointed, At the end, I thought that the movie delivered a lot of really bold and really interesting storylines that I was like, and surprises, but different from The Last Jedi, these were kind of like good surprises. A little bit sad, but good surprises. I thought that the movie starts right off, right away. We see Thanos going against Thor. And we know that Thorne had already lost. Thorne is a character that he had lost so much, And I think he really shined on this film. And the movie already starts with him going against Thanos, and then we have Loki over there. And I think that the beginning, that scene already established how powerful and how menacing Thanos is. And I also thought I really liked that Thanos was a character that for the most time, he kept his coolness, even though he has this master plan and he wanna, it's kind of an evil plan, but on his mind it's not evil at all. It's to bring this balance to the universe or whatever. And I just thought that he was very interesting because although in my opinion he's completely crazy and he's mad, but I thought that he was cool for the most part. It was very few parts in this film, if you've seen it, that he loses his coolness and he gets really angry. So right over there, even the way that he talks, you can tell that this guy has authority and you can tell that he's really dangerous. He almost kills Thorne. And I thought that was really cool at that scene when Loki said, "Oh, I don't care about him, go ahead and kill him." And then Thanos pretty much, "I'm gonna do it." And he's pretty much almost killing Thorne. And I was like, oh my God, no, right now, no, not Thorne. But then at the end of that very scene, Loki is the one that ends up dying, and in a very, very, very ugly way. Thanos is choking him to death, and I was like, whoa. Right there, I already thought, oh my God, we're in for a ride. It's going to be right now. Loki, it's been one of the fan favorites. He's been very annoying and very, he brought a lot of trouble to the Avengers. But at the same time, he was very charismatic, and to see him die like that, and Thanos made sure to say there's no coming back this time. So, to be honest with you, I think that Loki is gone. I think he's done. I don't think there's a way for him to come back. In fact, I think that everybody that did not kind of dissolve into that sand towards the end, those people I think he might come back. But Loki, Gamora, who else? These people, I'm not so sure. But anyways, and then in that scene, we also have, I always forget the guy, the gatekeeper guy name. I forgot his name all the time. But anyways, that really cool character has also another terrible death in front of Thorne, and Thorne just screaming, no! And I kind of felt it because I really enjoy that character. I thought he was really cool. And at the very end, he said, "No, I have strength to do one last thing," and then he kind of saves Hulk. And I really enjoyed Hulk going against Thanos. I thought that it kind of scarred Hulk for the entire film. And I thought that was an interesting approach because, you know, Hulk is usually unbeatable and very, very hard to destroy, you know, like the angrier he gets, the stronger he gets, but he was no match for Thanos, you know. He did give Thanos a couple of punches, but towards the end, Thanos could have killed him, you know. So I thought that was a very interesting beginning and setup, and then it really shows and portrays to the audience that yes, this guy is no joke. It's definitely the strongest villain that you guys have yet to face. And I was like, wow, okay. So, but anyways, another thing that really kind of surprised me on this film was the death, because I was already expecting, I guess everyone went into the film knowing some characters are going to die, but all the characters that I actually thought were going to die actually were alive, you know? It came to me at such a surprise who was like dying at the end that I was like, what? I think the biggest shock for me was, and the one that I felt the most was Black Panther and Spider-Man. You know, the Spider-Man part was, oh my God, that was just so sad because, you know, we see Peter, you know, and the way that he's like hugging Tony and say, I don't want to go, I don't feel so well. And you can tell in his voice, he just sounds like a kid. And I was like, oh man, I can't believe it, they're going to do that. Really? I did not expect that at all. I thought Tony might be the one. In fact, when he got stabbed, I was like, oh, that's it, he's going to go. He's dead. But then Tony was the one that actually was alive, and then Peter died. I was like, oh my gosh. And then obviously, then Black Panther. That didn't expect it, you know. And also because Black Panther, it was probably one of my favorite films from all the Marvel series. I mean, I do enjoy the Avengers a lot, but I loved Black Panther. I thought that movie was great, and I had a lot of fun watching it. And I really had great fun. And I didn't know Black Panther, the character, before the movie. But after the movie, I thought this character is just so cool. I really like him and everything about him and his kingdom and Wakanda. In fact, to me, I was very excited to get to that part. So, yes, that came as a shock. I couldn't believe when he was like, oh, he dissolved like that. I was like, oh my God. And then, you know, Michonne I always have to call her Michonne. Danai Gurira, he's just like staring at him in shock. So anyways, I thought that the death that was very, very well written, you know, because I believe a lot of people were surprised. However, you have to think about that. It's very interesting that pretty much all the original Avengers are the ones that are alive. So it kind of makes sense that the final film, we will have all the original Avengers going against Thanos. But there's another interesting thing that I thought about this film, which is I enjoyed the character of Doctor Strange a lot. I thought that his dynamic with Tony Stark was hilarious to watch, you know, how they were bickering at each other, you know, like you think you're so smart and things like that. I thought that was brilliant. I really, really, really had a lot of fun watching that. And I loved his fight with Thanos towards the end when he was doing all those cool things, and then he was like becoming a bunch of themselves, like, you know, recreating a bunch of his illusions. I thought that was really cool. However, no matter what they do, no one is a match for Thanos, at least so far. And I thought it was interesting, the part where he actually got to see all this alternative future. And all in this alternative future that he was able to see, he tells Tony that it was only one they are able to win. And I believe that even though all the events that occur in the film came as a surprise, I believe that the future where he actually gives the stone to Thanos to save Iron Man is the future that he saw is the one that they potentially could win, even though a lot of people died. Could tell my voice a little, oh my gosh, I can't get a cold. Anyways, going back to the movie. So I'm pretty sure that that's gonna play out in that way. I believe that's there was no other way that they could win unless, you know, whatever he's seen there, even though if he didn't give him the stone, he would have gotten it anyways, and perhaps more people would have died. And I believe that Tony, it seems to me, and I'm very convicted that Tony is going to play a very important role on the next film, because it seemed that Doctor Strange ran out of his way to save Tony's life. It was very important that Tony was going to be alive. And it's also very kind of funny how the movie, you know, a little before he told Tony, you know, if it's between you and the kid and the stone, I'm going to choose the stone. I'm going to, you know. But at the end, no, he chose to save Tony Stark's life. So I'm pretty sure, even though it was very shocking, and I think it really worked for the movie. Like, everyone in the theater where I was watching, people were like, what? People were in shock. So I think that ending really worked, you know. It was very impactful in a lot of ways. It was very surprising. However, I don't think that that's the end, especially those characters that died dissolving like that. I think that they're the ones that have a chance to come back. And especially like Black Panther and Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure they're not totally gone, you know. I'm pretty sure they're gonna come back. So anyways, and then what else that I really loved and I really thought it was interesting? I loved the development of Thanos. You know, I thought that his character was extremely interesting to see his arc. And it's interesting to see that they gave him a clear motivation, you know. He believes he needs to create this sort of balance, and, you know, by doing this, he would have to destroy half of the universe. And it's a clear belief that he's willing to sacrifice anything, even his daughter that he loves. So I thought that, you know, the fact that he really thinks that that's something that it must be done, and no matter the consequences, it really gave the character this, not only like make him really menacing and like scary, but also it gave him an understanding, you know. Like, for me, for instance, if you see my spoiler-free review, I never had the sense that he's completely evil. I had the sense that he's just crazy and he's mad. He just thinks that this must be done to bring this sort of balance, but like, it's just a crazy way of thinking, you know. But the other thing that also annoys me the most, like, when they manage to actually catch him, you know, like, when we have the Guardians of the Galaxy along with Spider-Man and Iron Man and Doctor Strange, they're all like almost there. They were almost able to grab the thing off his hand, like they were so close. And then Star-Lord comes in and just like kind of messes everything out. I mean, seriously, that was the one thing that I thought, okay, I understand that he would be enraged to find out that his girlfriend died and everything like that. I get the whole thing, but the fact that he would attack Thanos right at that point where they actually had a chance to destroy him. And then we also have Gamora's sister just there watching and not doing anything, and then Tony Stark is the one that tried to stop Star-Lord from hitting him. I mean, come on, that was a little bit too, like, I knew that was gonna happen. Now, that's the one thing I didn't really like, because I don't like predicting things and then it happens exactly the way I predict. I was like, oh man, I knew that was gonna happen. I mean, that was really dumb of Star-Lord. So I feel like a lot of it was kind of his fault, you know, for doing that, you know. If he had held back and they were able to collect the Infinity Stones all from Thanos' hands, they probably would have had a better chance of, you know, surviving. I don't know. But anyways, I guess it would have to play out the way it did. There was no way out. But that was the only thing that I thought, oh man, come on. What else? I thought that his relationship with Gamora was extremely interesting. I was very into that. I was like, wow. It shows that it also shows how complex he is and that he's truly not evil. You know, he did care for this girl, even though he massacred her entire, like, half of her planet and her parents. But for some reason, he really did care for her and saw her as a daughter. And the fact that, you know, he would go to the end of killing her the way he did, and then like you can see him crying as well. I thought that was kind of like, I was like, wow, I did not expect that to happen. But I don't know. I think Amora, it's probably gonna be another character that is truly gone, you know. I don't know, unless her soul is trapped somewhere. You know, in movies, there's always a way to bring characters back, but I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if they're really gonna go through keeping a lot of these people dead, which I don't think they will. Like, how are you gonna keep Spider-Man dead and Black Panther dead and all these other characters? You know, basically now there's no Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, the raccoon was the only one survived. I felt really bad for Groot. I think that scene was so heartfelt. I was like, oh, Groot as well. But no, there's part of the Groot is alive because, you know, Thorn, it's on Thorn's new hammer. So anyways, the character that I really enjoyed in this film was Thorn, Iron Man, and Thanos. So let's talk a little bit about Thorn. I thought that his acting was actually fantastic in this film. I really enjoyed his acting. I thought he showed emotion very well. You know, it shows that he lost a lot. And I really enjoy like the fact that he's going to that place to try to reconstruct his hammer, even though that scene where he's opening the furnace or whatever that thing is called and he's getting all that blasts on him, I thought like that was a little bit far-fetched. But anyways, he's Thorn, I guess. I thought that was really cool. And towards the battle in Wakanda, when Thor comes from the sky and like on thunder, and then he's like in the middle of the battle, the entire cinema cheered. Everyone was like, yeah. So that scene was incredible. I thought that entrance was incredible, and he really was like the true hero, you know. And I love how the Hulk, you know, scream, oh, you guys are so screwed, or something like that. So I thought that was one of the really cool things. And then towards the end, he almost has Thanos, and then Thanos goes, oh, you should have gone for the head. And then he actually ends up doing what we expected him to do. But anyway, if everyone was actually paying attention and seeing all the toys and things like that, we seen that the stones are pretty much complete. So that means I kind of thought he was gonna be able to get all the stones anyways. I didn't think that came as a surprise. However, I did not think that he was gonna win at the end the way he did. I still thought that there was gonna be some sort of a way around. But again, then I forgot that there was still a part 2. I completely forgot about that. But if you think that there's gonna be a part 2, it makes sense that they would end the movie the way they did, with Thanos win. So it's basically his movie, you know. But Thor almost got him. And then I really enjoyed Tony, you know, Iron Man on this film. I thought that, you know, his relationship with Peter, it was so cool to see them together. No, go home, you are not supposed to be here. And then obviously Peter goes and, you know, infiltrates in that spaceship over there. I enjoyed the whole thing, and I love how Peter always bringing movies to the stories, like the whole thing with Alien. I thought that was brilliant, because that's exactly how Ridley got rid of you know, the alien, if you've seen the movie. And I thought that was pretty cool, fun to watch. And it also gave it more weight toward the end, you know, when he actually is one of them. When I heard, I honestly could not believe because I'm still kind of processing all of that. That was like completely unexpected for me. I did not think that he was gonna die. And Doctor Strange as well. So, oh man, what's gonna happen in part 2, you know? This is how you make a good movie, you know? Like, you create these situations where you put these characters against such a strong villain that it make everyone wonder, what are they gonna do now, you know? Obviously, towards the end, if you see the after credits, there's after credits, right? We see the hint of Captain Marvel, and she's supposed to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest, Marvel character. And so obviously she's going to play a big role in helping defeat Thanos on the next one. And I don't know, I choose to believe that in the next episode, you know, in the next part 2, which the name is not released yet, they're gonna do some way, they're gonna bring some people back. Otherwise, it's just gonna be very weird, you know. And hopefully no more people are gonna die, you know. I don't want to see any of the originals dying. I didn't really, obviously you don't want to see anyone dying, but sometimes to bring that kind of weight, it must be done. And I gotta say, I thought that the Russo brothers did a great job, because it was gonna be a very hard movie because you have so many characters. Obviously it's hard for you to focus on this many characters, you know, but I think they really did a good job from jumping from place to place. Obviously they're all over the place, traveling on all different countries, planets, I'm sorry. And I really thought that they did a good job with the merging. In fact, one thing that I was wondering before is like, how are the fights gonna play out? Were they gonna happen at the same time, or was the fight, I don't know. I was just wondering, is it gonna be in one place and then the other place, or are they gonna be happening at the same time? And they were kind of happening at the same time, but in different planets. So there was not one scene where everyone was together. And I thought for some reason that was gonna happen. You know, I thought Tony and Doctor Strange, everyone was gonna go back and be back in Wakanda, and that was where the big battle was gonna happen. So I didn't imagine that Thanos was gonna, you know, kind of defeat everyone there where Tony Stark is and Spider-Man, and then he comes to Earth, and then he actually, poor Vision, right? I knew Vision was the one that I was sure he was gonna die, because he has one right on his forehead, so for sure he was not gonna survive that. But anyways, and it was so sad. I couldn't believe that he went back on time after, you know, that scene where his girlfriend killed him, and then he goes back on time and just to kill him in an even worse way. That was cold, man. But anyways, then we got to see the Red Skull again. What is that character's name? But anyways, we have seen him in a very long time ago, and I wasn't expecting to see him. But he's there, he's guarding one of the stones, Infinity Stones, and I thought he's pretty much cursed now, you know, that's what he wanted. He didn't want to be cursed, but I mean, I thought that it was pretty interesting that they brought him back. But anyways, guys, I thought that this movie delivered a lot of really interesting things. The only thing that, in my opinion, I wish it would be a little bit less are the jokes. I thought they went a little too much on the jokes. I wish they would have toned down a little bit more, you know. Just for the sake of this being such a serious movie, you know, and we knew a lot of like characters might die and things like that. So I was not expecting to be, I don't know, but I guess they did that so it would light the audience spirit a little bit. Because after that end, I was like, man, so we do see him from the trailer, that scene where Tony Stark is actually like doing like this mourning. He seems pretty beat up, but now we know exactly why, you know. Spider-Man just died on his arms, and obviously I know he must feel responsible, but that was definitely not his fault at all, you know. This was, regardless where Peter could be on Earth and might have still died, you know. So I don't know, at least they all died trying, and then a big fight. The Wakanda fight, I thought the fight itself, the action, the visuals, you know, the direction, everything was awesome. Just the motivation for the fight itself, obviously it was a little bit to me felt like, oh, we're gonna give them some action, and here it is, you know. But I'm not complaining. I enjoyed it a lot. I loved how we saw everyone coming back, like Captain America, you know, Black Widow, and I thought that was pretty cool. I think Captain America didn't shine as much on this film. Maybe some parts, and I love the thing where he's holding Thanos' hand. That I thought, oh my god, he's definitely gonna die, and then he gets punched by Thanos, but he actually does not die. So yeah, so that scene with Captain America and Thanos, I was in fear for him. I thought, oh no, man, that's where he's gonna go. And then we have the Hulk. the interesting thing about the Hulk, as far as Mark's performance, I was not very pleased with the performance, so that to me was one of the negatives. I don't know why, but to me he seemed a bit off. Don't know, I can't really explain. I don't know. I just thought that his acting was a little bit off. But anyways, however, I did like the storyline that Hulk didn't want to come back, because it felt like Hulk was so traumatized by losing the fight with Thanos that, I don't know, it was interesting that he didn't want to come back, because, he could do a lot of damage. And even though Mark, like the Bruce Banner was in a lot of danger there, Hulk wasn't. Usually that's when Hulk pops up, and I was expecting that he was gonna show up again, but he actually didn't. However, it was really cool that we got to see the big suit, and that was fun to watch as well. That was interesting. So yeah, so I thought that as far as the entire movie goes, I mean, so far the reactions from people are positive, even though people are like broken and are like, oh man, this was just so much. I guess it delivered a good film, like it had very nice character development. To me, they did a very good job merging all these characters from all different worlds. Obviously, it's really hard for you to focus on specifically one character because you have just so many things going on and this major fight going on everywhere. But I thought it was very interesting, very bold decision and surprising. And towards the end, I was really blown away. I was like, I was sitting there just watching the credits. I was like, what? I couldn't believe, like, Spider-Man, Groot, Black Panther, and I mean, who else? I cannot even process a Winter Soldier, Buck. Everyone, like the Witch. I was like, wow, who's gonna survive this thing? I really enjoy the end scene. I thought that was the terrifying part. It was very apocalypse, where people are disappearing, and that was really scary because it shows the impact of all this death and those people disappear in thin air. But anyways, guys, I don't surprised you. I would love to know. I was really pleased with Thanos' story and his arc. The fact that he's a crazy character. That he keeps his calmness for the most time, and he knows exactly what he wants, and there's no stopping him. So that kind of really pleased me. I thought the action was really great. Great film. Great film. I think that it's gonna do very well. Obviously, right now it's already making a ton of money. So yeah, anyways, this is my spoiler reveal. Let's discuss on the comments below. Let me know, what did you think about this movie, and what can we expect for the next one? What can we expect for part 2? I'm really intrigued by everything that now I'm like, what is going to happen on part 2? How are they going to defeat Thanos? How are they gonna bring people back? How Captain Marvel is gonna play a role in all of this? Where has she been throughout all this time? All of these things we're gonna get to know and find out in the next film. So anyways, let's talk about it. Comment below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.